I usually don't have time to actually, sorry my voice is gone, I usually don't have time to reminisce on anything we've done. I'm always go, go, go. It's characteristic of being ADHD, I guess. My family's here and my wife, and they're both laughing at me because I got teary-eyed. I get really emotional very quickly. So if I crack up at any point in this speech, I apologize. Following Peter, I don't know what kind of to-do list she has for you, but you just sliced it right in half. I don't know if I can follow that. But Honorable Minister Doucet, President, honorable guests, and fellow teachers, I'm really humbled and honored to be here standing in front of my peers. I'd like to acknowledge a few people, and then we'll go from there. My parents are here tonight. I'd like them to stand and actually give a round of applause because Mom and Dad are selfless, giving, and community-driven, but what they've given me is a structure and a never to be afraid to actually try things. It's all right to fail. And we sort of lost that in education in the past 10, 15 years, that it is all right to fail and get back up. And they taught that to me. They didn't sugarcoat it. They didn't blanket me with a safety net. They didn't run to me at my every whim and say, you know what, here you go, son. And they really showed me the value of hard work, dedication, and sticking to my beliefs. And honestly, every time I call the students' parents, I'm hoping they have the same values that my parents did. So I'm really appreciative. Now, some say my parents had the hard job taking care of me for the first 25 years. I beg to differ. I think it's my wife who has collaborated with my parents for the last 10. I fallen in love twice in my life. Once my wife shows me every day what the meaning of love is, and has followed all my endeavors. And without her, okay, these don't happen. And honestly, most of the time she should be running out the door yelling, hoping that I don't suggest anything else. But she's completely behind me, and none of this stuff happens without her. And the second love of my life is happened 6 months ago. I have a 6-month-old, and she's home. Now my future's ever so bright because of both of these ladies, and I'm quite happy about that. In addition to family, I'd really like to acknowledge the people who make up the wonderful teams that I've been able to collaborate with in the past few years, and in particularly the teachers. They all share this award with me and are fully deserving of praise and accolade. None of these projects that you heard about happen alone. Even in the classroom, any of the stuff that we do, it's usually a collaborative effort. It really is a PLC at our school. And it's led by Nancy, who's here today, and her administrative team, who believe like me that anything truly is possible. Nancy has been the biggest supporter of everything we've done and has made me a better teacher. She gives us the structure and guidance through her leadership style for me to be able to take initiative and be creative, and has trust and confidence in me, which I really appreciate. Thank you, Nancy. Honestly, the role that I play is probably the easiest one in the school. I'm an instigator, I'm a facilitator, sort of networker. And my job is to lead these teams in the way that I see fit, but to create these types of projects like here at Pottery. For those who don't know, my background is actually in sales. So finding a win-win for me comes naturally, let's say. And that's the first thing with those roles. There's 3 points to those. And the number one is really finding a win-win solution for all partners included in these projects. So from the teachers to the admin, to the district, to community partners or business partners, that's my role. That's what I need to do. I need to find it and figure it out. And basically we take it from this. You see, the healthiest organizations are made up of departments whose agenda might differ, but whose goals are interdependent. And if one of the agendas win, then everybody loses. And we make sure as a team at school, doesn't matter if it's literacy, numeracy, phys ed, we make sure that we all come together and we sort of go with the same, even though our goals might be different, the vision's still the same. So that's sort of my role that I play. And then as an instigator, I bring everybody on board and get true brainstorming together. From there, we mirror the communication structures of some of the best companies in the world at our school. I truly believe that. And it never follows the organizational structure. Basically, what I mean by that is anybody can stop the production line, for lack of a better term. If you see something wrong, or if you see something that you're not sure of, and you want to propose a better solution, then in those teams, everybody can step up and say so. But they need to do it with candor, and need to be willing to do the work that goes with that. And I'm lucky that I surround myself with teachers and partners that are a heck of a lot smarter than I am. So when it comes to proposing some great ideas and being creative, they come up with everything that comes through. I'd also like to thank Aliant for sponsoring the award that recognizes the teaching profession and improving teaching perception in the community. I was speaking to Nancy, who's here tonight, a couple of months ago, and we were comparing notes about Andrea Schleicher's presentations that we had attended different conferences. And I don't know if you remember that. And Andres, for those who don't know, is the head of PISA and one of the education gurus in the world. And he talked about how to improve assessment scores. And the funny thing is, he had never actually talked about teaching to literacy or numeracy. What he talked about was that in Western society, perception of teachers is at an all-time low. And that we needed to improve that. And that teachers are the only thing that can improve education dramatically. Only teachers. And his 5 key points were quite simple on how to improve it. Number 1 was to recruit better candidates in the profession. 20 years ago, people strive to become teachers, to make a difference, as Diane said. And nowadays, if a kid goes into the school and sees the guidance counselor in grade 12 and has a 98 average, what's the first thing they're going to suggest to them? You should go to medical school. You should be an engineer. If the kid pipes up and says, oh, I want to become a teacher. Oh no, you're too smart for that. And that's us shooting ourselves down. We really need to change that perception. We need the best and brightest in the profession. If we are going to make New Brunswick the smartest province, then we need the best and brightest in this profession. The second and third point was to develop teaching as a profession and continue professional development as individuals need it. But where educational partnerships such as the one that Bell Aliant is doing here today and created with the NBTA, where Andrea says, will it really improve education, is to recognize and retain effective teachers, not lose them after 3 years. And by improving the societal view of the teaching profession. And he said those were the most important points for actually raising the standard of education, which I thought was really interesting. I applauded Bell Aliant for actually helping us out with that to improve the teacher perception, and I'm grateful for this honor. Now, educational partnerships are the key to our future. We can't be isolated anymore in the classroom. It's just not going to happen. And Take Care at Water Week, now, excuse the pun, but it was magical because of the partnerships that we were able to create with all stakeholders. And that includes the business world, it includes the administration, it includes everybody that got in and did a win-win, but not for us. It was for the students. Everything we did was based on the students. All those hours we put in was based on the students. How could we bring one of the best literacy books of all time to life? And how could we make it exciting? So we literally transformed. I know you guys heard a bit in the media, but if you had a chance to anybody got a chance to step into the school during that week? Anybody at all? You got a chance? What was it like?
It was awesome.
And that's what the kids said. On the first day, those 1.8 million views was not driven by teachers. It wasn't driven by media. It was kids taking out their cameras, taking pictures of that hallway, or the dining hall, or anything they saw, post it up. Did you see what happened at my school? This is awesome. In the middle of January, which we all know is one of the dreariest months. So it was quite exciting. And teaching is the best profession in the world in my mind. And in New Brunswick, we have the reputation as having some of the most phenomenal teachers in the world, in our little part of the world. And I share this award with all those teachers, but my colleagues are not just educators, and you know all the hats that they wear. They wear the hats of nursing, head cheerleader, cook, role model, parent, you name it, we've done And in truth, teachers are miracle workers. Here are a few examples. I've seen a magician walk on water. That's nothing, because I've seen teachers swim through land. I've seen a teacher light fire by rubbing 2 ice cubes together. Teachers don't wear a watch, they decide what time it is. Teachers can win a game of Connect 4 in 3 moves. And if I have any chemistry teachers here, you guys are going to understand this one. Teachers have destroyed the periodic table because they only recognize the element of surprise. So I'm going to leave you with this. I believe that we really do the best profession in the world. It's not work, it's a calling. We don't do it for glory or praise. Definitely not the money. I come back home, my wife's a chartered accountant. I try to present some of the bills that I present. We do it simply to make sure that we have a better tomorrow. Education is the foundation of how we are going to resolve our problems. We invest in education, we invest in the students, we definitely invest in a better tomorrow. I, again, thank you very much for this honor. I'm very humbled, and I hope to collaborate with all of you at some point. Thank you very much.